Hey there, I'm Ben Frisch from your local digital service squad of South Georgian Bay and Grey County, here with another webinar for you today. We're talking marketing with AI tools. It's always such a hot topic, always expanding and evolving, and we're really excited to get into this today. But before I do, just a quick reminder about your digital service squad. We're still around and we'll be into April 2024. So book those consults with us if you have any need for support in your digital marketing, whether that's to do with AI tools or anything else. We're here for anything digital marketing related, and we'll have the link to book those consults at the end of our webinar. Also, just a reminder or a shout out to the Ontario BIA Association, the Ontario government, and the Toronto Association of BIAs, all for making the Digital Main Street program possible, and especially the digital transformation grants and digital service squad possible. And also a shout out to the Enterprise Center of South Georgian Bay and the Grey County Enterprise Center, both amazing resources. They manage our program as the Digital Service Squad. So yeah, just another shout out to them if you are running or starting a business in this area and you need additional supports. They are an amazing resource. So definitely check them out for all things business related. Like I said, an amazing resource that you should connect with if you have not already. So with that out of the way, let's hop into our topic today, marketing with AI tools. Now, here's a quick rundown on our agenda. We're going to talk about the limitations of current AI tools. Then we're going to give just a rundown on what are some of the tools for different marketing objectives like copywriting. We're going to look at applying AI to improve your content marketing and SEO, so copywriting exercises, as well as AI tools for imaging and design, and then look at how to apply some of those imaging and design tools to things like your website, email marketing, social media, and advertising. Actually, not only will we look at how to apply those imaging and design tools, but also the copywriting tools as well, because the copywriting can play a big part in all of those marketing endeavors, from your website to advertising. But we're going to kind of show you how it can all be mixed together, used really effectively to create just a really efficient marketing system within your business. And lastly, we're going to talk about some best practices, and we'll touch on that throughout as well. That's why it's not really an agenda item, but yeah, we want to talk about what are some ways to just use these tools more effectively and get more of what we want out of them. So firstly, I want to talk about the current limitations of different AI tools. And I mean, it depends on which one you're using. And it's really important to note that, we did this webinar back about a year ago. And at the time, this slide actually had a video on it that was created by AI. And that video was laughable. It was not usable in any way, and it was just to illustrate sort of where we were at. Things have changed quite rapidly over the past year, where AI is producing video that could potentially be used by your business. So all that to say, the limitations are becoming fewer and fewer as this technology becomes more advanced, and we're able to apply it to many more marketing strategies than ever before. So it is really important, though, to remember that just so much of it depends on your inputs. So what you get out of it really depends on what you put into it. And, we're going to talk about a lot through here about providing context, providing details for the AI to interpret and factor into the outputs so that you get more of what you want. We always suggest editing copy and fact checking, of course. This is, just because if you're putting anything out on the internet as your business and you want to be a source of information yourself, or perceived as an expert on a topic, you want to make sure that information that you are putting out is correct, is accurate, and by copy editing as well, you can really kind of put your own personality into it a little bit, maybe, or even just make it sound a little bit more human, because ChatGPT especially can still tend to sound a little bit robotic when you read back some of the copy that it provides. So just another kind of limitation, but we're going to talk about some tools that can help work around those limitations as well. And again, with imagery and video, like I said, it has come a long way. There are still, fairly detectable elements within these types of AI tools, from, just body parts that don't quite work or look proper, or just, things looking out of place. And we'll talk about how to kind of work around those limitations as well. So let's talk about AI tools for copywriting. Many of you probably are already aware of, have used ChatGPT. We're going to go into some examples of ChatGPT in a couple minutes when we get further down here. But ChatGPT is number one on our list for a couple of reasons. I mean, the free version is very capable. It's very useful, and it's free. So that makes it hard to compete with. The paid version is quite affordable, I think. And I don't have it myself, but from what I understand is that, ChatGPT 4, which is sort of the next level you get when you purchase that subscription, is far more superior than ChatGPT 3. So if you use it a lot, it might be worth your consideration in making that upgrade. Other notable copywriting tools, things like Jasper AI. I had used Jasper AI just before ChatGPT really blew up. I'll say a couple things about that. Like, it is kind of expensive. But what I liked about Jasper was, like, it was a copywriting tool for business. Unlike ChatGPT, which is just like an AI language model, it can write code. It can just like talk to you if you wanted to chat with it. That's, it's a very broad use for that particular product. But Jasper is a copywriting tool designed for business, like I said. So the way they operate is, like, you pick the type of thing that you are looking to create. So you would pick, a blog post intro or blog post conclusion, or an Instagram post. You pick these from options that you have, and that just helps the AI model just like work more directly in the context of the type of marketing material that you're trying to create. So that was kind of cool. As well, they did introduce a chat feature as well, trying to compete with ChatGPT. But again, ever since ChatGPT really kind of exploded and was free, that's when I kind of jumped over to ChatGPT and use that primarily. But if you do a lot of copywriting, Jasper might be worthy of consideration as well. Additionally, we've got Surfer SEO as an option specifically for SEO content. So this is for writing blog posts, for writing meta descriptions, that kind of thing. Surfer SEO is a kind of one of the top options for that. Additionally, Rank Math is worthy of noting here. I put it down on the list because it may not be. It's not a traditional, it's not like ChatGPT where you have just like pure copywriting. It is at its base, in its basic sense, like an SEO tool for WordPress websites. So it's a plugin that I use a lot, and I've talked about it in our SEO webinars, where it just helps you take a web page, and it gives you a checklist of things to include your keywords in, or other things that you should do to that web page to make sure that it's optimized properly for SEO. And the reason why it's on this list is because they do have AI features within their paid subscription, and it's also important to note here too, and I'll talk about it in the SEO section too, but if you are getting any kind of AI, even if you're, I guess it doesn't matter whether you're writing your own content or having AI generate copy for a web page, I definitely recommend running a plugin like Rank Math on top of that, so that you can better optimize for SEO, because it's just going to really help that process. And again, Rank Math having AI capabilities just kind of enhances that product offering. So it's worthy of mention there in that regard. Additionally, we've got writer.com. This tool, from what I understand, I haven't really used it, but it is labeled as more for teams. So if you have large teams that are working on written content, that can be an option for you for that. And then finally, we've got undetectable.ai. So this is a really interesting tool, not necessarily for writing copy, but you can actually post or paste copy into it, and it'll tell you if AI wrote it. And then on the flip side, it can also rewrite AI copy to make it sound more human, is sort of their product offering and what they're trying to specialize in. So just rewriting copy to make it sound more human. And I was going to actually jump into that one right here. I'll copy something out of, here's a ChatGPT prompt. I'll come back to this, but I'm going to head over here and I'm going to paste it. So this is undetectable.ai, and I'm pasting something from ChatGPT, and you can say check for AI, and AI detection likelihood is it is fairly high. I mean, it says 100% human, 50% human. But anyway, it's an interesting tool. Again, if you are doing a lot of writing and don't want to edit copy yourself to make it more human sounding, potentially you could consider a product like this, which is an advanced AI detector and humanizer. So just to point that out. So again, we'll come back to to look at some more concrete examples of writing or using ChatGPT and some of these other tools. But I want to just kind of go over just some use cases and how we can start thinking about applying these tools. But first, just a quick disclaimer that, again, it can write an entire blog post. ChatGPT, no problem. Ask it to write a whole blog post on any topic. It's going to spit out a lot of words for you. But again, you should always be editing to provide your own personal voice, maybe perspective and insights. Again, double check, proofread, fact check any of that information that it is providing you. And you should always use an SEO tool. Again, I can't stress that enough, to help editing for better SEO. So it doesn't even matter if you're writing it, if ChatGPT is writing it. Those SEO tools are going to really help you optimize it for search. Because, I would say you always want to be considering search when writing any copy for your website. As a business owner, it's vitally important. And then number 3, just edit some more. Always just, keep editing it to make it your own, make it sound more personal, and it's just going to be better quality in the end. So again, in terms of just use cases and how we can create content, how we can use these tools for our more efficient marketing. Content marketing is obviously one of the biggest use cases. Anything from even just starting points, blog post ideas, content calendar plan. You can have ChatGPT write you a content calendar plan as sort of as broad or narrow as you want. You could say, give me a content calendar plan for 2 months, posting to Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn 3 times a day, or 3 times a week, let's say. And it will just spit out all of that information. And again, you don't have to use it all. You can, use that as the starting point, and start putting down your own ideas and modifying it, editing it, and just really helps you get started and get a really good base going. And then additional, just writing general copy. And we're going to talk about a lot of different copy use cases as well throughout here. For search engine optimization, suggestions of keywords. And I think this is a really maybe overlooked area as well. Just suggesting things, getting ChatGPT or any kind of AI language model to make suggestions, to just, again, get your brain moving, get it thinking about what are some ways that I can approach this marketing task, whether that's search engine optimization, whether that's advertising. It's such a valuable tool to just kickstart your brainstorming, your thought process, to get you going. Meta descriptions is another great use case. So you can ask ChatGPT, write a meta description. You can tell it to include certain keywords in the meta description. You can tell it to keep the meta description to a certain character length. I will say that we have had, we do struggle with ChatGPT trying to keep certain character limits. I don't know why this is a challenge for ChatGPT, but it really struggles. So you say to it, keep the meta description no longer than 150 characters, and it'll spit out a big long paragraph, which is fine too, because then you can just take what part of that you like. You can copy and paste just sections of it and again, just kind of make it your own in that way. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. It does struggle sometimes with those character limits. And then finally, image alt text. When we do SEO reports for businesses, we do notice like one of the major missing pieces or bits of content for SEO is definitely image alt text. If you have a lot of images, especially, that is something that gets overlooked often because it's in the background. It's easy to forget about, and and it can be very time consuming. Again, if you have a lot of images, it can take a lot of time to fill those all out. But it is really important when it comes to your search engine optimization. So we do, using ChatGPT or something like that can really help speed up that process, and just get all that information in and done off your plate and ready to move on to something else. Okay, so let's talk now about AI tools for imaging and design. And here's where we're going to jump into some examples, because I've got some prompts and things lined up and ready to go to look at in a few of these tools. And so Canva, I do have on the list here. I don't think a lot of people really think about Canva as an AI tool, but I put it on the list at number one because, for one, it is probably the most popular, most widely used graphic design platform for business owners. If you haven't used it, you need to check it out. It's incredibly useful. Even the paid version, especially the paid version, because you can't have the AI tools without it, but also you can access the content calendar, so like the publishing feature to publish content directly to your social media accounts. You can access more templates and more stock images and content. It's really a worthwhile expense, I think. And so going back to the AI though, this is sort of a new development for Canva, providing or having an AI development section where you can create images based on a certain prompt. Here's where I'm going to jump in, and we're going to look at actually like a concrete example of how you can use this AI tool within Canva to create some content for your business. So, I have I've used an example, and actually I'll jump over to ChatGPT first, because what I've done here is I've asked ChatGPT to give me 3 image ideas for a naturopathic doctor's clinic to share on Instagram to help promote a healthy lifestyle. So again, just some idea generation using ChatGPT to sort of kickstart my planning process if I was a naturopathic doctor, for example. So this is what's cool. ChatGPT gave me 3 examples. I liked the third one. I said, write a prompt for an AI image generator to create an image for the third suggestion. So that's when ChatGPT gave me this, which is generate an image depicting a serene corner in a naturopathic clinic, featuring elements like lush green plants, soft ambient lighting, blah, blah, blah. So basically, the reason I asked ChatGPT to do that for me was, one, it was super fast, but 2, it will just like elaborate on a lot of these different details, and provide certain context and sort of image prompts that I wouldn't have really thought about. And it did it super fast too. So I can also just read this, and if some of those details don't necessarily align with my vision, I can edit those and, before I submit them to my image generator. So I'll just show you though. So I basically just took this prompt, I went over to Canva, and so Canva, you'll find the magic media button down here. I'm gonna maybe move this over so you can see it. Oops. I'm going to move myself here. Okay. So here we go. So now you can see Magic Media down in the bottom left corner, where that's where you're going to find this tool. And so when I pasted that prompt into here, I said generate, and with Canva, you've got a few different options in terms of the style that it can produce. So it's got watercolor, dreamy, anime, filmic, or photo. And so just a note too, about like the limitations of AI. When I originally did this, or I was trying out some options for this, I used the realistic one, and or photo realistic, meaning, and it didn't quite look right. So just going back to some of the limitations, photorealism still a bit of a struggle sometimes. It depends on what AI model you're using or what tool. But Canva, for example, there were just a few things that were just a little off, and I wasn't thinking, this would be worthy of posting. But what I tried instead was the watercolor option, and you can see it gave me 4 different images to choose from, all in a nice watercolor style. And so this is really important to consider, that when we're creating images, if we give it a more artistic style, then they're a lot more forgiving, in terms of like that detail and the look of it. It's more about just the colors and the vibe than like getting accurate photorealistic details. That's the real challenge. So when I selected a watercolor image, these are just really nice, simple graphics, simple images that anyone could post to Instagram. So just going back into our presentation here, just to cover some of these other tools. Midjourney is number 2 on the list. It's probably even more popular than Canva in terms of the capabilities of it. But I will say that it's a little bit of a challenge to access and use. It is a paid product, so you do have to subscribe. But it's quite incredible what that platform can do. And again, I mean, I think what we see a lot out of that is giving it a certain artistic style, so that it is a little bit more forgiving, and it's just going to give you better results that you're more likely to be able to share on your Instagram or social media feeds. Moving right along to Adobe. Adobe has started to integrate, much like Canva, integrate AI into all of their suite of products. And so I thought it was worthy of mentioning, like, most business owners won't necessarily have Photoshop or Illustrator. But in case you do, or in case you're really interested in exploring that, what's really cool about some of their advancements. I mean, they even have, I think it's called Firefly, is a new their image generator. But within tools like Photoshop, Illustrator, or Photoshop specifically, they've got a thing called generative fill. So you can just like fill an image space with something, the background, like expand a background just from nothing, right? So you can take a square image and make it, more of a horizontal scene, and then just create a background that matches the existing photo. And it's really quite incredible. Or just like circle things and have them taken out instantly without having to use the paintbrush tool and meticulously, color pixel by pixel. As someone who came from that world and has done pixel by pixel, removal of things, this tool is incredible. So worthy of putting on our list today. But then moving forward to logomaster.ai is an example of a logo or brand development tool. And so this is really interesting, if you're starting a new business or looking to refresh your branding, could be an option. I've actually used some of these tools. I like how they'll have you go through a series of questions like what colors do you like? What kind of, ask for or provide some examples of other logos and select some that you like. So there's a bit of a like almost a quiz that you sort of fill out as you as it develops a bit of a profile, I think, on what you want, and then it just gives you a bunch of logo examples or options that you can choose from. The reason I've used it is just sort of again just idea generation. Like, give me some ideas for logo that have the letter B in them or something like that. So it can just be again just a idea generation tool. But I think some companies have actually just full on used those services, got a logo, and ran with it. And so worthy of putting on the list here. So those are all image, mostly image tools. Canva, actually, I should say, does have a video tool. It's not very good yet. But so moving into some video options, Synthesia, however you say that, .io. This one is a little bit more of a sort of talking head avatar tool. So when I was on their website, I actually recognized one of the avatars. So they're just people that are going to like, do a bit of a like talking head sales or information or educational video. So you upload your script and then you'll have this AI generated person delivering that script and taking people through your video, and which is really interesting. And like I said, I actually recognized one of the characters, so it's obviously very widely used, and could be a really good option for website videos or sales videos, that kind of thing. It can be pricey though. But then that being said, the next one, number 6 on our list, ai.invideo.io, does have a free option, and that one is pretty interesting. And I have an example that I'll bring up. And but just before I do, Sora, worth mentioning, is also from OpenAI, which created ChatGPT, and it's not quite available yet, but they do have some sample images, video clips on their website, which I'm going to show too, because it is pretty wild what they are able to do with that. And so I think it's something to keep on your radar, because that's going to be, when we do this webinar next year, that's probably going to be the one, higher up at the top of this list. And so I'm excited to see where they're going to take that. But so in the meantime here, let's jump over to back over to the turn ideas. Here we go. So actually, just to keep our theme going here with this naturopathic clinic as an example, just because I wanted to give a really concrete example of like how you could create a whole marketing campaign, or at least start on it with the help of not only ChatGPT but then Canva and maybe a video tool as well. So what I did after I had ChatGPT write me the prompt for an image generator, I then asked ChatGPT to write me a prompt for a video creator to create a video of that same scene. The video should be 15 seconds in length. So I copied this prompt that it gave me and pasted it over here into InVideo AI, which again, I've created a free account here, and I just thought I would see what it gave me. So it's kind of interesting. It so it kind of missed the mark on the scene, but I mean what's interesting to note about this particular tool, because I think if you can see, yeah, you can see right there like this iStock word mark here, which is because this tool, instead of generating images out of nothing, it's actually going to use stock imagery that it will license once you export those videos. So apparently when I export that, that word mark will go away. So this is interesting, right? In that the limitation of that tool is that it's only going to try and find stock images that align with your vision, your prompt, and but on the plus side, it's going to look a lot more realistic than like some AI generated image that could just look really wonky. So another cool feature about this platform is that you can create a media library. So again, it's just going to use elements that exist, including things that you upload directly. So that could be your logo, that could be staff pictures, pictures of your business products, and you can reference those assets from this media library that it'll pull into the video and use in your video that you've created. So that's one really cool thing about this particular tool, is that it's got a lot more flexibility to create something for your business using, again, just those assets that you already have, and instead of just creating them out of nothing and having them look really terrible. So again, it's free. I recommend checking that out for any business. It could be really cool. And then let's continue on with some use cases. Again, talking about not only your copywriting tools, but also your imaging tools as well. So when it comes to your website, of course, you've got headers, body copy. All these things can be created with the help of ChatGPT. Product descriptions is incredibly useful, because just like image alt tags and things like that, you could have hundreds of products, and the idea of writing all of those descriptions is daunting. And what we're seeing a lot of times too is not only are those descriptions lacking, but sometimes there is this idea that less is more. That people don't want to read long descriptions. But again, if you've listened to our SEO webinar, then you'll know more copy is better. We want to inform search engines about what this product or what this page contains. And so the more copy that we can put on there, the better. And that's where AI copywriting tools can help to beef up those product descriptions and really provide a lot more written copy to help you out in the SEO department. Unique imagery, again, for your website, could be just background images, could be like that watercolor image. You could do a whole series of those for your website to just really give it a unique feel and a unified sort of brand look across the board. Not a lot of people do that, and I think that's a really awesome and artistic way to approach your imagery on your website. Give that some thought for sure. And then again, sales videos, if you're using something like Synthesia, whatever it is, you create sales videos for different products and services as well. When it comes to your email marketing, of course, writing subject lines can be tricky. That's where AI can really help you out. The body copy, and even though, again, marketing videos within your email campaigns, those can also be really useful, and AI can help you out, as we've said. When it comes to social media, again, content calendar plan, even just getting some ideas, planning things out. I've used this multiple times, like the example I gave earlier on about, just what are some image ideas for this type of business, posting on this platform. And then you just pick one that you like, or pick several and fit them into your content calendar. One thing I didn't show on ChatGPT would have been okay, now that I have my image and my scene picked out, I can ask it to write me post copy. So then I just take the post copy, take that image that Canva created for me, and I've got a social media post ready to go in 5 minutes, not even. So yeah, definitely. I use it for post copy a lot. Hashtag suggestions might be something to use ChatGPT for, things like that. Post imagery, again, just like what we created for that naturopathic clinic, and then content videos. Like that video that we saw of the trees and things, while it missed the mark on the clinic corner scene, it could still be useful as a social media video. You can always make edits and change the prompt to see what you get. But yeah, there's definitely some options there to create content for your social media. And then when it comes to your advertising, a lot of the same, headlines, body copy, keyword suggestions, advertising imagery, if being able to create unity in your branding is not just about your website, it's about, everything across the board from social media to your advertising. So if I took that theme of watercolor scene for the naturopathic clinic, if we had a variety of different ones for their website, and then we're posting those on social media, and then additionally creating ads from those images, we're creating this really concise consistent branding across the board that is just something I don't see enough of, to be honest. And it's incredibly effective for just getting people to have that brand recognition. When they see those types of images, they know that that's your clinic or your retail shop or your business, whatever. Having that consistent style, that look, is really useful across the board. So, additionally, marketing videos you can start creating with AI as well, and you can even prompt it with that same artistic style that hopefully will carry through, and just unify all of your marketing material. So, lastly, just want to mention, in terms of best practices, you do want to be as specific as possible with your inputs and prompts. Provide context and additional references where possible. So if you had an existing blog post that you wanted it to follow a similar format, you can just copy that whole blog post and paste it with your prompt and say, just follow this format. All of that can just really help get more of what you want out of these tools. And because the more information that you provide to the more informed the AI will be, and the better your response. One thing I forgot to mention too, actually, with regards to ChatGPT specifically, there are some other ways to sort of get better or different responses from that. I mean, one thing that I've noticed is that, especially if you ask it to write a longer paragraph, it will use a lot of adjectives. And that's, to me, does sound more robotic, more AI developed, or more AI written. So oftentimes I will tell ChatGPT just outright, don't use too many adjectives, don't use a lot of adjectives. And the result, it does sound more natural, more human. And because on the flip side, when you do ask ChatGPT to sound more human, sometimes it sounds like a robot trying to sound like a human. It tries to use some slang, and it just usually does not sound right. So I find one of the best things, just say use fewer adjectives, or don't use many adjectives. And that can really help get a better response out of that tool. And that brings us to the end of our webinar. So hopefully you found this helpful. Like I said, here's our booking platform. We are around until the end of until April 2024. So feel free to book a consult with our squad. If your business is located in the South Georgian Bay, Grey County area, we are still available for free consults and support. And we'd love to help you out, help you explore some of these tools and make your marketing more efficient. And that's it. So we hopefully see you next time at our next webinar coming up in April. We'll see you then. Have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.